Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk. That's right, it's Friday, February 25th, 2022, and it's been a long week, so let's get to the docket. First, Scott Peterson and Ghislaine Maxwell, that's right, they're having hearings regarding juror misconduct. Boy, did I get this one wrong yesterday. I sure did. And the Crumbleys, they're going to go to trial. A story about a little more New York crime, so all the people that say all I do is hate on California and New York. We don't. We are also solution providers. We have some New York subway survival tips and then our dumb criminal of the day. Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Crime Talk. My name is Scott Reich. Thanks for watching. And you know the drill. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that little bell so that you receive notifications, and always remember you can listen to us anytime you want by simply downloading us on any one of your favorite podcasting sites. That's right. Not only this episode, but every other episode is also available. So please do that. All right. Before we get to the doc today, though, let's talk about one more thing. The sponsor of today's show, that's right, CrimeTalk Prep. Now, if you haven't noticed, things have been happening in the world lately, things that you probably didn't see coming. Well, that's exactly the reason why you need to go to crimetalkprep.com and you can place your order for your emergency supply of food. Now, people say, oh, Scott, what are you doing this for? Well, it's a great product. This could be your literally life-saving supply of food if the unexpected happens. And I don't know about you, over the last couple of years, I'm really starting to expect the unexpected. So go to crimetalkprep.com, get your order today. All right, next on the docket, Scott Peterson. Remember that guy? Remember the whole death penalty reversed? Now he may get a new trial. Well, Rochelle Nice is expected to testify on this afternoon regarding accusations that she lied about her experiences and domestic violence to get on the jury for the Scott Peterson trial. Now, Peterson was charged in 2004 for the murders of his wife and their unborn child. Nice is accused of not disclosing two specific experiences of domestic violence she allegedly experienced at the hands of her ex-boyfriend. In 2000, Nice attempted to get a restraining order against her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, saying that she really feared for the unborn child due to the threats. Peterson's attorney, Pat Harris, said this is a chance to show that she did commit misconduct and to have the whole thing thrown out. While Nice will be the center of the hearing scheduled for today, several other figures have been subpoenaed to testify, including journalist Johnny Dodd and Peterson's former attorney, Mark Garagos. It's unclear whether any of the 12 people that have been subpoenaed for the hearing are all going to testify. Seems unlikely they'll get it all done today. Now, we've talked about this. I'm telling you, juror misconduct, it's an issue. It's a real thing. People need to be candid. They need to be truthful. That's why they call the jury selection process voir dire. It's a French word that means to speak the truth. And if you don't, guess what? You're going to have potentially find yourself in court being the cause of a new trial and potentially being charged with perjury and or contempt. And Ghislaine Maxwell, same situation. Now, the judge that's overseeing the case of Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted last month on charges of the sex trafficking charges that she had, has denied Maxwell's motion for a new trial. Okay, you would think, well, that's it. But wait, there's more. Maxwell sought a new trial after it was discovered that a juror falsely answered a material question during voir dire. That's right, to speak the truth. And U.S. federal judge Allison Nathan said Thursday that she was denying Maxwell's motion for a new trial on the current record because the current record relies extensively on the juror's public statements, which the court can't consider because it's not part of the evidence. Remember, they can only consider what comes in at court under oath. Now, the juror, identified as juror number 50, answered no when asked on a pretrial jury questionnaire if he or a family friend or family member had ever been the victim of actual or attempted sexual harassment, sexual abuse, or sexual assault, or other unwanted sexual advances. Seems pretty clear, pretty straightforward, right? Well, after the trial, the juror then granted several media interviews in which he said that he shared his experience of being sexually abused as a child, which he claimed helped convince some of the skeptical jurors that key prosecution witnesses should be believed. The judge ruled that the hearing is necessary to resolve Maxwell's motions and ordered juror number 50 to testify under oath at a public hearing to be held on March 8th. The court is going to do the questioning of juror number 50 with input from the feds and the counsel for the defendant. Also, Judge Nathan also ordered juror number 50's questionnaire to be unsealed, which is going to be interesting. Should be an interesting little exchange. And I'm not going to lie, okay? I think both of these people should get new trials if there is, in fact, juror misconduct. If the playing field is rigged from the beginning, it's not a fair trial. All right, next on the docket. Boy, did I get this one wrong yesterday. Well, a federal jury yesterday afternoon found 3 of the former Minneapolis police officers guilty of violating George Floyd's civil rights. The jury began deliberations on Wednesday after hearing testimony for a month. They deliberated for about 13 hours before returning the guilty verdict. So Alexander Koenig, Thomas Lane, and Tao Tao were all found guilty of willfully failing to aid Floyd as he lay on the ground beneath fellow officer Derek Chauvin. Koenig and Tao were also found guilty of failing to intervene in Chauvin's use of unreasonable force. Koenig, Legg, and Tao have been charged in the state court with aiding and abetting the second-degree murder and manslaughter. Their joint trial on those charges are expected to begin next month. I got it wrong. I was thinking maybe this was going to be a hung jury. You literally have 2 officers who are on their second week of work, and you expect them to intervene for actions of a senior officer who has 20 plus years of experience, is their training officer, and tell him you're doing it wrong. I guess that's a good situation you hope to strive for, but how do you know what you don't know on your first or second week of the job? And listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fine example of when I say you never know how quickly one's life can change. These 3 men are all going to prison because of a bad day at work that somebody else was responsible for, and they got held responsible for it. It's truly a question of where do you stop holding accountability of individuals? Why not charge the police chief as well? Why not charge all the training officers? Because apparently they failed in their job for not instilling in these officers that they needed to intervene appropriately. It's a lot easier to teach it than it is to actually go and do it. Anyway, I got it wrong. They're all going to prison, and it's kind of a sad case in which it is. But it is what it is. Some more people that are going to trial. James and Jennifer Crumbley, the parents of the alleged Oxford High School shooter, Ethan Crumbley, will go to trial in connection to the November 30th tragedy. The 2 have been charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter following accusations that they did not heed warnings that their son could carry out the violent act and that they supplied him with the gun he allegedly used. No one's charging him with actually being provided a gun. Oh, that's right. That's not a crime, is it? Nope. And when he takes it without their permission, he should be held responsible for that. Anyway, the Rochester District Court Judge Julie Nicholson's decision to go to trial comes after a 2-day hearing in which she heard evidence and determined that there was enough to go to the circuit court. The trial start date has not yet been set or announced. 5 witnesses testified during the preliminary hearing. 3 of them were Jennifer Crumbley's former co-workers. Her former supervisor, Andrew Smith, testified that shortly after the shooting, she sent him a text saying, "Oh my God, Andy, he's going to kill himself. He must be the shooter." Then pleaded with him not to fire her, writing, "Please don't judge me for what my son did." You know what? That should be the theory and theme of the defense case. Please don't judge me for what my son did. Anyway, Sean Hopkins, a school guidance counselor, also testified, saying he met with the Crumbleys after suspecting Ethan was showing suicidal ideations. Hopkins said the parents weren't friendly or showing care to the student, adding that they did not greet or touch him. Oh, really? Because your teenagers want to be hugged in school? Wow. Maybe that counselor should be charged as well, because he didn't foresee the future either. Now, though Hopkins recommended the 15-year-old get immediate mental health treatment, the parents said they had to work. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Armchair quarterback, I get it's a tragedy, but come on. Why not charge criminally everyone at the school as well? They've been sued civilly. Why not go criminally as well? Let's go for it. Now, defense attorney Shan Smith argued that there was no reason to predict and foreshadow that there would be a school shooting. She continued, but at the end of the day, the law doesn't care about what kind of parents they are. It cares whether we knew their son was going to commit murder. That's the law. James and Jennifer Crumbley did not know that a murder would be committed. Anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. Our system is based on people being held responsible for what they do. That's why the government has to prove their mental intent, ladies and gentlemen. We've talked about this before. Don't get me wrong. The Crumbley kid, guilty, right? Although we'll give him the presumption of innocence, but he did kind of confess and all that good stuff. But you know what I'm saying? It's not a whodunit. It's simply a question of NGRI, which is why they've gone NGRI or will go NGRI. The reality of it is our legal system is based upon punishing conduct of the person that did it or people that contributed, like aided or assisted or abet, not just being bad parents, ladies and gentlemen. Something to think about, I think. I think if you really want to be intellectually honest with that, I think it's tough to say we need to hold the parents responsible. But the county court where this started to hear the preliminary hearing, that judge is not going to throw the case out. They're going to let it go up, have the jury decide. We'll see how it goes. Next on the docket, a little New York crime. And for those out there that say, Scott, why are you always hating on New York and California? I'm not hating on them. Listen, my daughter and a lot of my money went to the state of California, okay? New York, great city, fun city. Was there just a couple years ago. Wouldn't want to live there, but I love the city. It's fun. But guess what? Just like we say about, some of the people, why do they go there? Because that's where the kids are. Well, we got to go here because that's where all the stories are when it comes to crime. A robber kicked a 57-year-old woman down the stairs and bashed her head repeatedly with a hammer at a New York City subway station. The video outside the station in Queens Plaza in Long Island shows the robber walking with a cane approach the woman, who is yet to be identified, as she carefully walks down the stairs to the subway platform. This was all on Thursday evening. The man begins to kick her in the back, attempting to knock her over, but when the victim stays on her feet and appears to try to slowly flee, he pulls out a hammer. He hits her over the head 13 times before finally knocking her over. Now, officers found the woman lying on the ground with a fractured skull and lacerations to her head. She is in critical condition. Now, last week, the New York City Mayor Eric Adams announced his subway safety plan initiative and deployed 1,000 additional officers as well as a team of health workers to crack down on rising crime in the subway. Adams said the NYPD officers would be deployed on the AE 1, 2, N, and R lines to ensure public safety. Both the E and the R trains run through the Queens Plaza station where Thursday night's attack occurred. The station is in the affluent part of Long Island City, apparently, and an MTA worker said he was surprised about the attack and that it would happen in this community because it's normally a safe neighborhood. Now, under Adams' plan, officers and service workers would be part of the end-of-the-line teams with officers to make sure the trains are cleared during their final stops. The health workers would be there to help the mentally ill and guide them to the city's support services, while the officers are directed to enforce laws against laying down, sleeping, outstretching, littering, drug use, and aggressive behavior toward riders. But despite their efforts, crime continues to plague the city's transit system, which serves more than 3 million people every day. Now, the New York City subway stabbing and slashings have spiked 29% in the last year, with 182 incidents compared to 141 a year before in 2020. And 2022 is squaring up to be even worse. So far this year, there have been 27 subway attacks on passengers, a 35% increase on the 20 reported from the same period in 2021. So just bringing those facts to you, and that's where the crime is. But we are not just negative nillies here at Crime Talk. No, we are not. When we come to you with a problem, we also come to you with a solution. And here it is. The subway safety tips from TikTok. So back in January, many New Yorkers were shaken up and heartbroken when a woman named Michelle Alyssa Go tragically died after she was hit by a train. Michelle had been shoved onto the tracks while waiting for the RQ subway in Times Square by a 61-year-old homeless man named Simon Marshall, who was later arrested and charged with second-degree murder. So now New York women are using social media to share safety tips from how to ensure you don't get pushed into the subway tracks, to use self-defense tools you should always have on you.
Always keep this in my pocket. So most of you guys have seen this. It's a birdie. You pull it. It makes a really loud noise and it's supposed to like scare off the intruder or at least draw attention to yourself. This is a necklace and you can press this button right here and essentially it alerts 4 or 5 of your friends that you set on your phone of your location immediately, or it will dispatch the police. Get you some pepper spray.
Now, a woman named Lippy showed off products she uses, such as a device that makes a loud noise in case you need to draw attention to yourself. I think we have those. They're in our Crime Talk repertoire of alarms that you can have. Who's been telling you to get that stuff for the last several years? This guy. Well, since Limpy was followed at a subway station last year, she never leaves home without a 4 Patriots tool, which is a device with a whistle, a car window breaker, and a seatbelt cutter. She also has a necklace that has a button on it that will notify the police, called the InvisiWear Smart Necklace. Another woman added that she always carried around pepper spray and a shank, which she described as a sharp piece of plastic designed to break windows or break someone's eye out. That's true. That's what a shank can do. A TikToker named Caitlin also made a viral video about how Target is now selling pepper spray online and will ship it directly to your home. Little disclaimer here. It is legal to buy, carry, use, and ship pepper spray to New York. However, you must be at least 18 years of age to get that. So just be careful there, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to become a criminal trying to protect yourself. Another woman named Jen reminded her followers to always stay against the wall. Don't stare at your phone and be aware of your surroundings while waiting for the train. Who has mentioned that? Being aware of your surroundings. One user named Lisa added another video that she's always waits for the subway at the top of the stairs rather than on the platform to make sure that no one can push her into the tracks. Use your common sense, ladies and gentlemen. All right, our dumb criminal recap for the week. Monday, Christopher Samuel of Monroe, Louisiana, was asked by police officers why he was pulling the car door handles when he reported that he was sleepwalking. Interesting answer. Tuesday, Matthew Abram broke into a tiger enclosure at the Franklin Park Zoo in Boston because he wanted to see the eye of the tiger. Wednesday, Kelly Elkins, a lawyer, was refused service at a bar in St. Petersburg Beach, Florida, because she was so drunk. She went to the bathroom and emerged completely naked. When police arrived, she said she didn't want to put her pants on because she was too tired. I feel that same way some days. Anyway, Thursday, Florida man Darren Durant walked into a True Value store with crutches and put a $1,300 crossbow down his pants and walked out of the store. Is that a crossbow in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? Friday, a Florida man said he thought his girlfriend was being rough like 50 Shades of Grey when she was slapping him, but things turned aggressive rather quickly when she left him seeing stars with a bump on his head. The couple returned from a music festival late at night, which would explain the face paint on these individuals. The victim said he told his girlfriend to stop, but she continued to scratch him. Onique was her name. Nicole Onique was arrested for domestic battery, a misdemeanor, and booked into the county jail, for which she was released on her own recognizance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long week. I had to go to court today, but I had to change. That's why I was in the casual outfit yet again. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Crime Talk.